live by request. Somebody requested I do one from the tub. So here I am. And I figured I'd take this opportunity to, since they call me President Tubman when I'm in the tub, which I take as a very good honor to be called President Tubman. Makes me feel like a liberator, like someone who helps free slaves. So, like Harriet Tubman. So I take that as a great honor to be called President Tubman. And I feel like I'll take this opportunity to talk about presidents for a second. For President's Day. So, happy President's Day. Made me think recently about if Biden was president right now, what would he be doing? Like, what's he doing right now? I kind of wondered this about Obama when Trump took over the first time and this time. But what's he doing? You know, as a former president, doesn't he have something to say about this stuff? You know, I know Kamala took a book tour, and she had probably some things to say on the book tour, but she never made any real headlines. Do you remember how Trump was making headlines every day during the Biden administration? So, just why don't Obama and Biden ever make any headlines during the Trump administration? First time or this time? What is that? If there was some sort of like decorum or tradition for the former presidents not to criticize the former president, well, that went out with when Obama got elected. Before Trump even became president, he was criticizing Obama, and then continued to when he became president, and then continued to after he left the presidency, and continued to, criticize Biden. Like, if he's gonna be not just breaking that rule once or twice, or breaking that convention once or twice, but every single day, constantly, what was the motivation to ever respect that rule or go back to this idea that, oh, well, he's president, let him do his presidency? He never did that for you. So it just makes me wonder, first, what Biden or Obama are doing now. Like, I saw the Obamas were at the NBA All-Star game. It's not like they're incapacitated or anything, or in another country or something, like they're not paying any attention to what's going on here. Why don't they have an opinion? Why aren't they vocal about what's wrong with Trump, especially when he recently posted that racist video about him? Like, why aren't the Obamas, Biden, Kamala, anybody doing anything with their stature as a former president to criticize what Trump's doing in any way that's ever making the news or anybody's ever talking about? So that's kind of my curiosity for President's Day. Or for that matter, if Biden's not doing anything to criticize Trump a year into his presidency, when he was running for president, what kind of president were we expecting him to be at this stage? If when he's not president, he has plenty of time to craft a statement about Trump or something. He never does, as far as I'm aware. Hello, Sticky. I did this for your request. I figured I'd do a Happy President's Day from President Tubman. So thanks for honoring me with the moniker President Tubman. And I figured I'd honor you guys by doing a quick bathtub live. Probably not going to stay live very long in the bathtub, but because I've already been in the bath for a little while before I went live. I was just uploading videos and stuff. So thanks for being here. Thanks for your support. Thanks for supporting President Tubman. Happy President's Day. Does President's Day mean anything to you? Aren't you in Ghana or something? In America, today is President's Day, which is kind of, bittersweet or something at this time. But it does make me think, what would we have had with President Biden, with the second term of President Biden, if he's not even doing anything to criticize Trump now? How different would it have been? Or if Kamala had won, or if her victory, if she got one, had been honored. What would have been different? We would have had tampons in bathrooms. Is that it? I mean, yeah, she wouldn't have been doing all the evil Trump stuff, but a lot of other stuff probably would have been much the same. President Tubman, yes. Yeah, you can. Yes, I'm an American, but I live in Ghana now. What took you to Ghana? What do you do in Ghana? If you don't mind my asking. I feel like I've known people who've gone to Ghana or have Ghana connections. I think my brother went to school with some people from Ghana. I think that's what it was. I think he went to school in West Virginia, and some people from Ghana also went to that school, and he was in school with them and friends with them. He said they were very nice. So, thanks for being here. Welcome to the President's Day special. President Tubman. Boo to our current president, but we should get a new president like Jasmine Crockett, AOC, Cardi B. A, B, or C? AOC, Cardi B, or Jasmine C? Jasmine Crockett. Those are my votes for president. Anyway, happy President's Day. It does make me think, like I made that video earlier about how, they're destroying our country, but we got to call them weird. Or I made another video about I forgot which one I was thinking about at that time. I traveled here for work and business, building houses, but the price of living is amazing here, so I purchased a beautiful home here. I moved my family out here. Oh, cool. Sorry, my bath is kind of leaking. What was I talking about? If we had the difference between our presidents, like if we had Kamala and Tim Walz, we would have had tampons in the bathroom, which would have been an improvement. And we would have had less of the kidnapping and stuff. Or it wouldn't have been some of that stuff wouldn't have been nearly as bad. And maybe the genocide and stuff would have been better, would have gone away or something. We could have gotten them to end that or something. But we don't really know what would have been better other than that. And basically, we're completely destroying our country just to avoid free tampons in the bathroom. An American buy a mansion out here for $50,000 US. That's cool. I'm glad you like it there and that your family likes it. I think we should all be more international and just, seek the benefit of, the welfare of all countries. Especially if people don't like immigration, which I think is silly anyway, but the best way to reduce immigration is to make things good in all countries so there's less reasons for people to migrate. People shouldn't be opposed to immigrants to begin with. It's silly. It's not just silly, it's like evil and racist and bad. But we'll all be knowing that soon. Anyway, happy President's Day. Thanks for being here, Sticky. Thanks for talking with me, but I think I'll probably shut it down pretty soon because, like I said, the bath is not that fresh. It's not really cold yet, though. So, happy President's Day, everybody. Not so much in America, which is where we celebrate President's Day today. Not so much a happy President Day, but we can still celebrate what the presidency could be in the future. I guess it really never has been as good as it could have been. We never really had as good of a president as we could have. Maybe Jimmy Carter was pretty good. He still wasn't as good as he could have been. Have a good night, Sticky. Yeah. It was nice talking to you. Happy President's Day. Unhappy President's Day in America. Till we get a good president. But hopefully we'll have a good president by next year, by next President's Day. Or sooner. It could be today. I mean, this is the very beginning of President's Day. That would be ironic if we got a new president on President's Day. Like, that would be a good thing to commemorate. And we would really celebrate President's Day. President's Day is probably the least celebrated American holiday. So, if we got a new president today, I think we would definitely celebrate President's Day more than we ever have before. That should probably be my theme for life. I do feel like talking about, why aren't any of the other presidents, the ex-presidents, the former presidents, saying anything about how bad this president is? And how much better would they have been if they almost did. I mean, yeah, a lot better than Trump in lots of ways. That's why I supported him. But, in some important fundamental ways, we can't be confident they'd be better. Like we need a whole new political class. I never agree with the both sides of the same crowd. But I do feel like the Democrats are far too much enablers of the Republicans. And we need to reinvigorate the Democrats with new people who are, staunch opponents of the Republicans instead of enablers. And there's a lot of people we can replace in that regard. Basically replace everybody who's been hiding the Epstein files and everybody who's been kind of protecting them or slow walking the justice for them. Sorry, this cat is looking at me. Cat is looking mysterious. I don't know if you can see this cat. Anyway, the cat looks mysterious. Anyway, so we definitely need an American president, but I think it would be awesome if this President's Day we were celebrating another president. So we'll see. We can dream. So I think that's probably what I'll do next is either go to sleep or if I do another live, I'll do it from bed instead of the bath because I met my obligation to my fan. And now it's time to move on, I believe. But happy President's Day. We'll get a new president. Again, it would be the best President's Day ever if we get a new president today. Then we will really start celebrating President's Day. From now on, President's Day will be one of our major holidays instead of our most minor holiday. But I do think that would be an awesome empowerment of President's Day to get a new president, even if it's J.D. Vance. I mean, I think hopefully we get a much better president than that. But if we got a new president today, I think it'll make President's Day like one of the top American holidays, right up there with 4th of July. Maybe better than the 4th of July, honestly. That'd be kind of cool if we replaced not replaced, we'd still have the 4th of July in the summertime, but if we had an even more celebratory American holiday in February, which used to be winter times, not so much right now. It makes me wonder, what would we do if it was cold in February? What would we do to celebrate President's Day if we had that much to celebrate? We'll see. I'm sure we'll come up with some stuff. What's some good cold weather stuff to do to celebrate President's Day? Anyway, I would be really excited if we transformed President's Day into a top tier holiday by having a new president today. We'd be excited for a lot of reasons, not just for President's Day. But I think that'd be an awesome, magical thing. I wondered often, the final day of Trumpism, what we'll call that day or how we'll celebrate that day. If it'll have a name like the 4th of July, like the 3rd of March or something, or the 26th of February, or if it'll just be President's Day. That'd be a really cool coincidence. So we'll see. I believe in magical coincidences, miracles, and things like that. So I do think that's something to hope for and believe in. Anyway, forgot I got Winsley out of screen for a second there when I was showing off the cat. That won't do. Anyway, thanks for barely talking with me, and maybe we'll talk again soon. Well, happy President's Day. Happy President's Day, everybody. Happy President's Day. Wouldn't it be awesome if we got a new president today? Wouldn't that be awesome if President's Day went from the least important American holiday to like top tier American holidays because we got a new president today? What do y'all think? Anyway, happy President's Day. We will almost certainly have a new president by next President's Day. But what if we had a new president by today? That's what I was saying earlier. I thought about, next President's Day we'll probably have a new president, but what if we have a new president today? That'd be awesome on President's Day. Anyway, happy President's Day. That would make it the happiest President's Day ever. And, you know, anyway, I look forward to it. President's Day is young, so it's just beginning. It's probably not even sunrise in the east coast of the USA right now. But it's President's Day. It could be the best President's Day ever. So I encourage everyone to cross your fingers and think about how much better our president can be when we get an American president. Man, especially when we get a real American president who's ready to stop all these anti-Americans, Trump-Putiners. Man, like if we had a real American president last time instead of Biden, milquetoast Merrick Garland, dude, it would have been awesome. Like, but it'll be awesome next time, I guess. It's just a build up to a further awesomeness with, I don't know, President Cardi B, President AOC, President Jasmine Crockett. I guess we'll see. I guess we have to wait and see, but I think we should be talking about who we want it to be. Those are some of my best choices. So, President Bad Bunny, I think that would certainly get them excited. I mean, we could have President anybody, but we need an administration that's dedicated to stopping Trumpism and getting some consequences for all their treason and stuff. So, happy President's Day.